We come now in the speech of Socrates in Plato's Symposium, still using the Hackett edition here, the complete works of Plato. We come now to what is the pinnacle of the text, the highest point of the text, the ascent Diotima describes towards beauty. And my last video went on too long. Let's see if I can do this one more quickly. Socrates is giving his speech in praise of love, but it turns out what he's really doing is recalling what Diotima said to him long ago. Diotima, a wise woman of Mantinea. And Diotima says to Socrates, even you, Socrates, could probably come to be initiated into these rites of love, R-I-T-E-S, like rituals of love. But as for the purpose of these rites, when they are done correctly, that is the final and highest mystery, and I don't know if you are capable of it. I myself will tell you, she says, and I won't stint any effort, and you must try to follow if you can. And now she gives an account of how a soul can ascend in love, ultimately reaching beauty itself, which can be understood as the ultimate reality. Diotima says, a lover who goes about this matter correctly must begin in his youth to devote himself to beautiful bodies. He should love one body and beget beautiful ideas there. Now that sounds like we're going back to Pausanias. But never mind, let me not review Pausanias at this time. Then he should realize that the beauty of any one body is brother to the beauty of any other, and that if he is to pursue beauty of form, he'd be very foolish not to think that the beauty of all bodies is one and the same. So start by loving one beautiful body, and then realize it's not the beauty of this body as such that I love, but the beauty which is shared by all beautiful bodies. Now, the next move is to become a lover of all beautiful bodies. And then move on to souls. After this, he must think that the beauty of people's souls is more valuable than the beauty of their bodies, so that if someone is decent in his soul, even though he is scarcely blooming in his body, our lover must be content to love and care for him and to seek to give birth to such ideas as will make young men better. Become a teacher. The result is that our lover will be forced to gaze at the beauty of activities and laws and to see that all this is akin to itself, with the result that he will think that the beauty of bodies is a thing of no importance. So, move on from the beauty of one body to recognizing the beauty that is shared by all beautiful bodies. And then move on to the beauty of soul. And then move on to, well, first we go from the beauty of bodies to one step up, just one step up. Beauty of bodies, one step up to the beauty of one body, one step up to the beauty that is shared by all of them. Move from the particular to the universal. And now, with the beauty of souls, we move from some sort of educational mentorship, love of the beauty of one soul, to one step up, moving from particular to universal. The beauty of activities and laws. And at this point, you realize that the beauty of bodies, now 2 steps or 3 steps down, is of no importance. After customs, he must move on to various kinds of knowledge. And I guess we're at the 5th step now in the ascent. Love of a beautiful body, love of the beauty that's in all beautiful bodies, love of one beautiful soul, love of activities and laws, the universalizing of the knowledge of the love of a soul, and then move up to love of knowledge. The result is that he will see the beauty of knowledge and be looking mainly not at beauty in a single example as a servant would who favored the beauty of a little boy or a man or a single custom. But the lover has turned to the great sea of beauty, and gazing upon this he gives birth to many gloriously beautiful ideas and theories in unstinting love of wisdom, until having grown and been strengthened there he catches sight of such knowledge, and it is the knowledge of such beauty. And Diotima doesn't finish her sentence. Instead she says, try to pay attention as best you can. Socrates must have zoned out or something. Maybe he missed something. So Diotima gave us, what, how many steps? 6, 7 of ascent towards love of beauty itself. This is what a lover should really do. Start by loving a beautiful body, then move to the love of all beautiful bodies, the universalizing step. Then move to one step higher, the love of a single soul and its beauty. Then universalizing step, love of laws and customs. And then from there, love of knowledge. And this gives you the chance to give birth to or beget gloriously beautiful ideas and theories, and then eventually you can catch sight of something ultimate, something beyond all that. And Diotima says, you see, the man who has been thus far guided in matters of love, who has beheld beautiful things in the right order and correctly, is coming out to the goal of loving. All of a sudden he will catch sight of something wonderfully beautiful in its nature. That, Socrates, is the reason for all his earlier labors. So after you've ascended in love from these things, from these lower things to these higher things, you eventually get to the point where you can see the ultimate goal of love, which is beauty itself. And now she's going to describe beauty itself. First, it always is, and neither comes to be nor passes away, neither waxes nor wanes. It's constant, it's immortal, it doesn't change. Second, it is not beautiful this way and ugly that way, nor beautiful at one time and ugly at another, nor beautiful in relation to one thing and ugly in relation to another, nor is it beautiful here but ugly there, as it would be if it were beautiful for some people and ugly for others, etc., etc. Itself by itself, with itself, it is always one in form, and all the other beautiful things share in that in such a way that when those others come to be or pass away, this does not become the least bit smaller or greater, nor suffer any change. So when someone rises by these stages through loving boys correctly and begins to see this beauty, he has almost grasped his goal. This is what it is to go right or be led by another into the mystery of love. One goes always upwards for the sake of this beauty, starting out from beautiful things and using them like rising stairs from one body to two, and from two to all beautiful bodies, then from beautiful bodies to beautiful customs, and from customs to learning beautiful things, and from these lessons he arrives in the end at this lesson, which is learning of this very beauty, so that in the end he comes to know just what it is to be beautiful. What is this very beauty? Well, I feel like we got sidetracked in our description of it. It is not beautiful in one respect, and in other respects not beautiful. It is beautiful in and of itself. It is the beauty which other beautiful things share in. So, if you've studied Plato's forms, the theory of Plato's forms, as it's been taught in many a philosophy class, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the form of beauty. We're talking about the source of the beauty of all beautiful things. We're talking about the beauty itself, which all beautiful things imitate. We are talking about the form of beauty, which is the ultimate reality, which is not physical. Maybe I shouldn't have skipped over that part. Did I skip over that part? Nor will the beautiful appear to him in the guise of a face or hands or anything else that belongs to the body. It's the beauty that beautiful things share, that they're imitating, that they're borrowing their beauty from. It is unchanging, it is eternal, and it is not beautiful in one respect and otherwise in another respect. It is beauty itself. And the only way to understand this is it's some non-physical higher reality. And then Diotima tells Socrates, there, if anywhere, should a person live his life, beholding that beauty. If you once see that, it won't occur to you to measure beauty by gold or clothing or beautiful boys and youths, who, if you see them now, strike you out of your senses. Socrates may have once been rather like Pausanias, and make you and many others eager to be with the boys you love and look at them forever, if there were any way to do that. Forgetting food and drink, well, that sounds like going back to the speech of Aristophanes. Anyway, everything but looking at them and being with them. But how would it be in our view, she said? Okay, so if once you see beauty itself, you'll move on from the love of beautiful things, and there's a particular emphasis on beautiful young boys. Maybe Socrates was kind of like Pausanias in younger days. But how would it be in our view, she said, if someone got to see the beautiful itself? Here we are. This is the best description of beauty itself. The beautiful itself, absolute, pure, unmixed, not polluted by human flesh or colors or any other great nonsense of mortality, but if he could see the divine beauty itself in its one form, the perfect, ultimate beauty, the non-physical beauty, the form of beauty, the beauty that is the source of the beauty of all beautiful things. Only then will it become possible for him to give birth, not to images of virtue, but to true virtue, because he is in touch with the true beauty. The love of the gods belongs to anyone who has given birth to true virtue and nourished it, and if any human being could become immortal, it would be he. Okay, so Diotima has said here, by following this path of ascent, love of a beautiful body, love of all beautiful bodies, love of a beautiful soul, love of laws and customs, the universalizing step, and then the step up from physical to spiritual, that is to say, pertaining to the soul. And then within the spiritual, pertaining to the soul realm, up one level in a universalizing step from individual soul to laws and customs, which are things that apply to all souls. And then up from there to knowledge and a universalizing step of sorts, lots of knowledge. But then the ultimate universalizing step is the move from many to one, because beauty itself is the source of the beauty in all things. And once you've achieved this ascent and you can see beauty itself, then you can have true happiness and true virtue, not mere imitations of it. And that is the ultimate goal of all love. What love loves ultimately is beauty itself, the ultimate non-physical reality. And note that there's less attention to some philosophical theory of what this ultimate reality is, and more attention to the path of ascent up to it, very typical in ascent literature. You can at best be given a partial, imperfect account until you've ascended in knowledge to see the ultimate for yourself. The best you get is an imperfect, partial description wreathed in metaphor. And what you really need is a map of ascent up the mountain so you can see that ultimate reality for yourself. This, Phaedrus and the rest of you, is what Diotima told me. So now Socrates speaks for himself. And he says, I was persuaded. And once persuaded, I try to persuade others too, that human nature can find no better workmate for acquiring this than love. That's why I say that every man must honor love. While I honor the rites of love, R-I-T-E-S, the rituals of love, myself, and practice them with special diligence, and why I commend them to others. But note that where the rites of love in Pausanias are going to include mentor-mentee, gay sexual encounters, in Socrates, it's not going to be that at all. It's going to be well, for lack of a better word, platonic. It's going to be much more platonic. We're interested in virtue without sexual encounters. Blah, blah, honor the rights of love. Now and always I praise the power and courage of love so far as I am able. Well, there he mentions courage at least. Consider this speech then, Phaedrus, if you wish, a speech in praise of love. Or if not, call it whatever and however you please to call it, because we can't necessarily say this is a speech in praise of love. It's really a speech in praise of the beauty that is beyond love. Was it in a different video? It was in the last video that I talked about the cardinal virtues, and I wasn't seeing courage in that particular paragraph, but it came up here. All right. The tragedy of Alcibiades is going to be that he was a student of Socrates who failed to become a true philosopher and pursue wisdom himself, in whom Socrates failed to beget the virtues for whatever reasons. Perhaps he was too obsessed with Socrates rather than the wisdom that Socrates himself was obsessed with. Perhaps the Athenian homosexuality customs that Pausanias praises corrupted Alcibiades, and perhaps something else is going on. Anyway, let's get to the hilarious speech of Alcibiades next time. Thanks for watching.